Barney Stinson might seem like the guy who slept with half of New York, but there's a lot more to his love life than a body count. Behind the suits in the playbook, to truly understand Barney's relationships, we need to look at the moments that shaped how he connects with people and see how his need for control turned even the most charming guy at McLaren's into one of the most emotionally broken characters on television. So sit back, grab a snack, and let's look at the real relationship history of Barney Stinson. Okay, so here's the thing. If someone asks you how many relationships Barney Stinson has had, the answer most people give is wrong. They'll say something like 200, or they'll reference the perfect week or the perfect month, or they'll just shrug and say too many to count. And honestly, that's fair, because the show goes out of its way to make Barney's love life look like a numbers game. He literally keeps a list. He has milestones. In season 4, he celebrates sleeping with his 200th woman like it's some kind of trophy achievement in a video game. Marshall even charts his success rate and calculates that Barney's batting average is embarrassingly low when you factor in all the rejections. But here's the problem with treating that number as the answer. Fan-tracked lists that catalog every single romantic interaction Barney has across 9 seasons separate his love life into very specific categories. There are serious relationships. There are noteworthy sexual encounters, which includes people like Wendy the waitress, Rhonda French, and Number 31. There are noteworthy misses, meaning women he tried to hook up with and failed, including Ted's mom, Virginia, and even the mother herself. And then there's this massive pile of unnamed and miscellaneous entanglements that covers everyone from Works with Carlos girl in the second episode to various pharma girls in season 5. When you actually separate all of that, the real number of serious relationships Barney Stinson had is 4. Shannon, Robin, Nora, and Quinn. That's it. 4 women across 9 seasons and over 200 episodes. But knowing that number is completely useless on its own, because 4 doesn't tell you why 3 of those relationships failed. It doesn't explain why the only thing that permanently changed Barney wasn't a relationship at all. And it definitely doesn't explain how a guy who once said women aren't objects ended up building an entire persona around treating them like conquests. To get any of that, you need to go back to where the whole thing started. And that story is way darker than most people remember. Before Shannon betrayed him, Barney Stinson was a completely different human being. Long hair, peace sign shirts, wanted to join the Peace Corps, genuinely believed in treating people with kindness and respect. This wasn't some throwaway bit either. The show reveals all of this in season 1, episode 15, Game Night, through an embarrassing post-breakup tape that the gang watches together. And what they see on that tape is basically a different person wearing Barney's face. Shannon was his girlfriend. She told Barney she couldn't leave with him for the Peace Corps, and then he found out the reason was that she'd been cheating on him with a guy named Greg. She didn't just break up with him, she lied about why she was leaving, and then she left anyway for someone else. And the version of Barney that existed before that moment, the version who thought romance was about sincerity and connection, that version just stopped existing. What replaced it was the suit, the corporate job, the playbook, the pickup lines, the list. Shannon and Greg are the wound that creates the suit-wearing womanizer persona, and the show makes it explicit. It's not subtext. The episode literally shows you the before and after, like a transformation montage. Now, the specific 200 women milestone actually comes from a separate humiliation. A kid named Matthew Panning, who mocked Barney in junior high by claiming he'd already slept with 100 women. So the persona comes from Shannon, but the scoreboard comes from somewhere else entirely. Years later, Barney even sleeps with Shannon and never calls her back, which he frames as revenge, but really just proves the wound never healed. This is the thing that makes the rest of the video actually matter, because if you don't understand Shannon, you think Barney's womanizing is just a personality quirk, something the writers gave him because it's funny. And yeah, it is funny. The playbook episodes are hilarious. The bracket where the gang tries to figure out which woman he wronged is sabotaging him is one of the best episodes of the series. But every single one of those comedy moments is built on top of this one traumatic breakup in 1998. And the reason that matters is because the next woman on this list is the first one who actually started to undo the damage Shannon caused. But getting there took 5 seasons, a destroyed friendship, and one of the messiest will they won't they arcs in sitcom history. Robin Scherbatsky is not one relationship on Barney's list. She's more like 5 different relationships stacked on top of each other across the entire series. She starts as a friend and a wingman. In season 1, Barney assumes they might hook up during a night out together, but Robin still has feelings for Ted. In season 3, after Simon dumps her, Barney comforts her, they watch the Robin Sparkles video together, and they sleep together. This blows up Barney's friendship with Ted so badly that they stop talking until Barney gets hit by a bus, and Ted calls him his brother from the hospital room. Then in season 4, Barney hits his 200 women milestone, Robin catches duplicate numbering errors on the list, and after reaching this goal he'd been chasing since junior high, Barney tears up the list and looks across the bar at Robin. That's the moment the show tells you that the counting was never the point. It was a distraction from what he actually wanted. By the leap at the end of season 4, Barney and Robin admit their feelings and kiss. Season 5 opens with them spending the whole summer sleeping together without defining anything until Lily literally locks them in a room and forces them to say the words boyfriend and girlfriend. And for about 7 episodes, Barney and Robin are officially a couple. It doesn't work. They fight constantly, they make each other miserable. And in The Rough Patch, they break up because being together is actively making both of their lives worse. And this is important because it proves something the show keeps coming back to over and over. Barney wanting someone and Barney being able to maintain a relationship with that person are 2 completely separate skills. And after Shannon, he only developed one of them. After the breakup, Barney goes right back to the playbook. He dusts it off like nothing happened. And if Shannon's betrayal is the wound that created his womanizer persona, then the Robin breakup is proof that even falling for someone real isn't enough to fix it. The damage goes deeper than attraction. It's structural. But you can't understand why Robin and Barney eventually find their way back to each other unless you understand the 2 women he dated in between. Because both of those relationships fail in ways that point directly back to Robin, even though the breakups look completely different on the surface. Nora is the first new woman after Robin who forces Barney to drop the act. She meets him at McLaren's in Desperation Day, rejects his usual tactics immediately, and demands something he hasn't given anyone in years: honesty. When she tells him she wants marriage and kids, Barney lies and says he wants the same thing. Then he comes clean. And the fact that he comes clean at all is a huge deal because pre-Nora Barney would have just committed to the lie and moved on. He even spends hours confessing the terrible things he's done to women just to earn a second chance with her. They eventually start dating for real, they sleep together after 2 months, and then in tick, 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 Barney and Robin cheat on their respective partners. Barney is dating Nora, Robin is dating Kevin, they sleep together anyway. And when Barney confesses to Nora and she asks if it meant something, he can't say no. The relationship ends right there, not because Barney dumps her in some clean breakup scene, but because his honesty about Robin makes it impossible for Nora to stay. Barney's unresolved feelings for Robin are what kill this relationship. Robin, meanwhile, stays with Kevin, which destroys Barney. Then comes Quinn. Quinn Garvey is a stripper at the Lusty Leopard who goes by the stage name Karma. She is, in a lot of ways, Barney's mirror. She's a hustler. She sees through his plays instantly because she runs her own plays on guys for a living. And somehow, despite all of that, they start a genuine relationship. They move in together, Barney proposes. It looks like this might actually be the one. But in the prenup, at the start of season 8, they try to write a prenuptial agreement, and the whole thing collapses because neither of them trust the other enough to get married. Now, Quinn's breakup isn't about Robin the way Nora's was, it's about trust, or really the complete absence of it. But the show puts a very specific detail in that same episode, a flash forward showing that when Barney later marries Robin, he trusts her enough to not need a prenup at all. So even though Quinn doesn't fail because of Robin directly, the show is already telling you that Robin is the person Barney will eventually trust in a way he never could with Quinn. Nora and Quinn aren't filler, they're the show proving that Barney's emotional growth is real but incomplete. He learned how to be sincere from Nora. He learned how to be vulnerable with Quinn. But Nora failed because Robin was unresolved, and Quinn failed because Barney still hadn't learned how to trust someone enough to actually marry them. And everything I just told you about these 2 relationships only exists to set up what happens next, because the way Barney finally gets back to Robin is genuinely one of the craziest things this show ever pulled off. After Quinn, Barney doesn't date anyone new. Instead, he builds something. Across multiple episodes of season 8, Barney executes a plan called the Robin. He dates Patrice as a misdirection. He burns the playbook in front of Robin. He engineers an emotional crisis that makes Robin come to a specific rooftop at a specific time. And when she gets there, she finds a page that says, "Hope she says yes." Then Barney steps out and proposes. Robin's first reaction is to call it manipulation, because honestly it is. The Robin uses the exact same structure as the playbook, the system Barney invented after Shannon to avoid real feelings. But this time he's using that system to do the most sincere thing he's ever done. And there's a wild detail layered in here. The reason the Robin exists at all is because of Tracy McConnell, the mother. In Platonish, Barney tries to pick Tracy up while completing one of Lily's challenges, and she sees right through him. She asks him whether he wants to keep playing around or actually win. And that conversation is what makes Barney go home and start drafting the Robin. So the woman Ted ends up marrying is directly responsible for Barney proposing to Robin. The show's two biggest love stories are literally wired together through one random encounter. Robin says yes. They get married in the end of the aisle after Barney vows to always be honest with her. And for one episode, it feels like this whole messy journey from Shannon to Robin has finally reached its payoff. Then the finale jumps forward to 2016 and they're divorced. Robin's career takes her around the world, they can't spend enough time together, and the marriage just falls apart. And Barney goes right back to womanizing. He literally runs something called the Perfect Month in 2019, sleeping with 31 women in 31 days. The 31st woman gets pregnant. Her name is never given. The show just calls her number 31. She's not classified as a serious relationship. She's listed as a noteworthy sexual encounter, but she becomes the mother of Barney's daughter, Ellie. And when Barney holds Ellie for the first time, the line, "You are the love of my life," which he'd tossed out earlier in the same episode while cynically insisting he wasn't capable of being that kind of guy, becomes completely sincere. So the answer to this video's question is 4. Barney had 4 serious relationships: Shannon, Robin, Nora, and Quinn. He slept with over 200 women by season 4 and kept going well past that. He had a perfect week, a perfect month, a marriage, and a divorce. But the relationship that finally and permanently changed Barney Stinson was the one the show never even classified as a relationship. It was a one-night stand that produced a daughter who made every suit, every play, and every number on every list completely irrelevant. 4 relationships, hundreds of hookups, and one baby that did what none of it could. If you want more How I Met Your Mother breakdowns, this video right here is insane.